for sure, dude.
I say that just because of his stamina. Like, obviously, he's not a one puncher, but Colby's stamina is nothing. It's like top tier. It's like Z tier stamina. 5 rounds of ridiculous output. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you might be right, man. But I don't know. Like, um, the fact that the fact that he's just not like in people's mouths as far as recognition. It's a similar issue with Michael Venom Page, but Michael Venom Page has done himself some favors by going to boxing, and he's from London. You know what I mean? So he's like, it's a small pool of people who are making it from there. Whereas with Lima, like, I really feel like that's more of the more one of the like bigger examples of someone not necessarily getting to the peak that they could have, just because the promotion that they've been with for the longest time wasn't the one that could have done it for them. Think about before the Kamaru reign. Who are we having in there? That was a little title switch up. We had
Tyron. We had
Tyron, yeah.
Robbie
Tyron
for a while.
took it off of Robbie Lawler. And Robbie Lawler and Rory McDonald went to war for it as well. Yeah, so I mean, it's something I was thinking about when I was thinking about Douglas Lima and kind of going through his catalog of wins and like stunning wins versus losses. I even rewatched the him and McDonald, pardon me, the 232 on the second one, and it was really impressive to see like he realized, or he effectively stopped Rory's ability to just control him on the ground. Yeah. So again, I know we bounced already from Cyril Gane to this dude, but
yeah, no, no, it's just like a little tangent or whatever.
Yeah, because that was just on the tip of my head.
I think out of just like I don't know, I guess wrap it up or whatever. I think like the Bellator fighter. I mean, Douglas Lima probably doesn't get the credit that he deserves, but like the real fans, like the hardcore fans, like they know Douglas Lima.
For sure.
They know what he's about. But AJ McKee, bro. AJ McKee is like a young fighter, still undefeated. We saw him fucking we saw what he did to Patricio Pitbull. I think that man right there, that young man right there is he's like the fighter, like the fighter, just because he's been in Bellator this whole time, and like literally his whole career. So like I guess because he's been on the second promotion his whole career, like he just never got a chance to really get in that spotlight. But like when you look at his wins, you look at the ways that he wins, like the different ways that he wins, whether it's knockout or submission, it's like the dude really lives up to his nickname, the Mercenary, bro. Like it's fucking crazy, bro. Like the dude is fucking on a whole other level.
Yeah, this is pretty astounding, man. I don't know if it may be arguable who has consistently more finishes like this, but that's crazy. I'm going down his list of just winning force. It's a fucking force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, for sure, bro. It's
got guillotine on Pitbull. Yep.
It's fucking it's great because like his father, Antonio McKee, like did it for a long ass time. Like Antonio McKee, let's see if we can find him. Mandingo. His nickname was Mandingo, bro.
Yo, shout out, man.
But like he started fighting in 1999 and he stopped. His last fight was in 2019. And like his career, his record was 30-6. So like his father was not only like one of the pioneers of the sport, like his father then like transferred all those years, like from 99 all the way to 2019, all those years of like data and like fight IQ into his son, bro. And like it shows, dude. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's intimidating as shit. I mean, Jesus.
Man,
yeah, I mean, you see it like, so are you saying that AJ McKee is destined to rise, or he's an example of someone in Bellator that is just not on known to people because it's Bellator?
Both. He's on the rise and he's unknown to people because he spent like his whole career in Bellator. But like you could only hold somebody with that amount of talent down
Oh, he's still young, man.
for
Too
so long.
26.
Yeah, dude, young as hell.
Oof. Unleash that guy in the UFC, please. Where's he out of? California as well. Wow.
Yeah, California, Long Beach. Yeah, man, he's one of those dudes. So just getting back to Cyril Gane and Francis Ngannou, man. These two guys, these big guys, they're the talks of the town right now. If you go on the Sharedog, the Sharedog forums, and you see what people are talking about, it's a lot of Cyril Gane, a lot of Francis Ngannou. So let's just get this out of the way. In this fight, in this matchup, things aren't looking particularly good for Francis Ngannou. What do you think about this?
I would agree with that. I think this is like a really weird video game situation because Cyril Gane has had Derek Lewis, who is a sort of unfit version of what Ngannou brings to the table.
Yeah.
And now he's like leveling up to like the apex of that kind of style, which is that, I mean, just raw power. You're off Dana White about it.
Yeah.
And I think I just don't see it. I don't see it. Like as any form of martial artist or someone who enjoys this sport, if someone's got a multi-tool like that, if someone could just be creative like that, I don't see Ngannou taking it. Hey, he could catch him. At the end of the day, Cyril Gane, at least at an event or seriously, has not fought someone like Ngannou before, or at least someone as strong.
Yeah.
So hey, he could catch him.
Yeah. A good friend of ours, man, like a person that I feel as though we both revere, a good man by the name of Teddy Atlas.
Oh, hell yes. Absolutely.
Teddy Atlas often, like, he's one of these dudes, he has his beliefs and like he has his mantras, and he will say his mantras and he'll say what he believes when the moment arises. And when it comes to guys that have that one punch knockout power, he calls it the eraser. And he called he calls it the eraser because you can like be in a fight and you can just make mistakes technically the entire fight, but you have that eraser or that right hand that will erase all the mistakes you made up until that point. That's what Ngannou does have, but I will give Ngannou some credit here. Showing that not only does he have the eraser, in his fight against Stipe, arguably, the greatest heavyweight thus far. He showed that he had takedown defense. He showed that not only does he have takedown defense, but when he sprawls out and he has Stipe on the ground, he's demonstrating control. He gets back up to his feet and he just continues to put the pressure on, in the second round, and eventually Stipe just folds. So like in the case of Ngannou or like Deontay Wilder or like any of these guys that have the notorious eraser, if these guys chose to, instead of depending on the razor, learning new aspects of fighting to add to their game, like they will be very dangerous. Like they'll be like a Mike Tyson, for example. A person that has the eraser, but also puts a lot of stock into learning the techniques as well.
Yeah, where the fundamentals are so strong that, even if you have to take him a few rounds, basically, I think your fundamentals dictate how long if you imagine the eraser as what's the glove that Thanos is chasing, whatever that crap is called?
God damn, I forget.
I was gonna call it the Thunder Glove, but that's just whatever the Infinity Stone glove.
Yeah.
Infinity Gauntlet or wherever. Yeah, if you imagine that's the eraser. And it's this heavy fist that you have to carry around. Your fundamentals dictate how long you can carry it. So, like, if Ngannou's like much more confident with his distance management, with like predicting and combos and I don't know, comfortably checking strikes at the level that Cyril Gane can. I did the shit. The level of fight we'd see is unbelievable. But even if you are in Ngannou's team now and you're like, hey, we got better since the Stipe fight, we won this Stipe fight. All right, you're champion now. You need to like. First of all, that's a very scary thing to say to someone like that if he doesn't agree with you. But it's one of the things where if he has his team around him, that's going to tell him that. However, Cyril Gane is so natural, man. That's why I'm weirded out by the fact that he worked in a furniture shop. Like he's got like the. You imagine at least when he was young, he was taking martial arts. Right. Not, you know what I mean? Not that there was just no exposure. That's bizarre as heck.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that means. Like if that natural thing is the like tip over and it's just like his destiny to be there. But I think the comparison to the Stipe fight is a good one because Ngannou's going to have made some evolutions.
So we have a guy in Gane that has
Ngannou.
No, I mean like oh yeah, I see the joke. We have a guy in Gane, that has like the natural ability to adapt to, you know, situations within a fight and adapt well, you know, better than any heavyweight we've seen in the MMA thus far. And then we have a guy in Ngannou that just has the ability to put a man's dick in the dirt, dude. And like I just feel that if I just feel that if Ngannou works on himself, if he works on, you know, the cardio, which it seems like, I mean, it didn't really last that long, but it seemed like his cardio was in good shape in the Stipe fight. And if he just like works on the setup, because he is, you know, I don't think that he's like training full time with Teddy Atlas, but Teddy Atlas did take the time out to teach Ngannou some things in setting up that punch, setting up that big nuclear, you know, weapon, or at least, you know, giving him like what's up?
Go ahead. No, carry on your point. I just remembered something that I want to bring up about that, which I'm very grateful for. Yeah, but how long has Teddy Atlas been working with him? Since when?
Well, no, it's not like a working with him type thing, but like he got together with him, I think for like a brief period of time before the second Stipe fight. And I think it was after he knocked out, I think maybe Jairzinho or somebody. Mm-hmm. I think it was maybe Jairzinho or I think it had to be Jairzinho, right? That was the last person. Yeah. So he knocked out Jairzinho, and after that, Teddy got with him and actually helped him out. You know, just like with setups, and like, I mean, unironically, his setups in the Stipe fight looked pretty damn good. You know, obviously he got to him quite a few times.
He got to an experienced boxer like Stipe, which is impressive.
Yeah, so it's kind of like natural God-given ability versus natural God-given ability, bro. It's really interesting.
Yeah, yes, I think that's fair, 100%. Yeah, and like the Ngannou thing, he was digging those like sand pits, right? So he's got like a power that other people just can't relate to, and that is in a way God-given. I don't know. I think it's one of those situations where if he catches him, he catches him. But if you had them run that fight back 10 times, Cyril would probably take it 8 or 9 out of 10 times.
Probably so, dude. Just because he has more tools, bro. But like that's what I'm saying. Like I wish this Stipe fight would have like went on just a little longer, so we could have learned like a little more about where Francis Ngannou is like in his career. Because I feel like we learned a few things. We saw him get the sprawl. We saw him maintain control on the ground and some pretty nasty ground and pound. You know, we saw him not only go in swinging wildly like he did against Jairzinho, but we saw him, you know, set that shit up You know, fucking like he looked phenomenal, and
Yeah.
I think that some of these guys, like on the, you know, like the Sherdog forums, they're kind of like losing sight of that. Like not only who Francis beat, you know, but like how Francis beat him. Like I still remember how, how weird it looked. Like Stipe hit the ground in a very fucking weird way, bro. It was like very awkward. His hair was like sticking up. He's like a fucking ostrich or some shit with his hair, dude. It was just like a bad fucking look for Stipe, and it was all because Francis had learned just like a couple of things, you know. uh, but I mean,
Well,
what's up?
for someone that big, that's all it takes. You have to just make a minor modification. He goes, "Oh, okay." We're just gonna knock out another row of 20 people. I saw him training with Michael Jai White, and that might have been like a social media thing where they connected and they were like, "Here, let's do a day where we'll take photos and it'll be cool."
Yeah.
But Michael Jai White is an accomplished black belt, and he comes from disciplines that are entirely based on being creative with karate, being like distance management, just speed and effectiveness of combos and punches. So I found that really interesting because that was a recent on social media. Someone had posted that.
Oh.
Yeah, and also, do you know the story about? And I'm saying this because I don't. Do you know the story about Gane and Ngannou's like training history together, at least?
I don't know the story per se, but I've seen like a clip or a video of them sparring.
Yeah, about the same for me. I'm not sure like how long have they been because again, Gane's fight IQ is really high, and again how much of him feeling out and doing some of those hard spars with Ngannou like are just in his head now forever. Like that's a hugely advantageous thing to have in your locker.
Yeah, for sure, dude. My big thing, right, is
Yeah.
we are obviously both in the camp of like Cyril Gane is damn near prodigy, and like he has way more tools than Ngannou, at least seemingly. But when Ngannou closes that distance with like reckless abandon, and I know that Cyril isn't flat-footed, but there are like these instances, right? Like in the Derek Lewis fight, in the like not so much in the Jairzinho Rosenstrike fight, but definitely in the Volkov fight, where Cyril Gane has like this thing where he like just gets out of the way, and I get that, you know, like it's like that split second shit, just like the instincts, and I understand that, you know, not every dodge or evade is going to look picture perfect, but like sometimes he has a habit of exiting backward, with his hands down. Sometimes he has a habit of, you know, going low and actually rolling and bobbing and weaving, and like there's like with Ngannou, bro, like dude, if he is able to establish the jab, I want you to think about that. Like, tell me how you would feel if he had to fight Ngannou and you had recently learned that he finally knows how to jab. Like, how bad are you gonna feel about that fight?
I would sign and make sure the fight was promoted by Bellator so I could wear whatever shorts I want and keep a gun on me. Because I think you're also really fair that we have to be able to see into the little windows where Francis could knock Cyril the fuck out, because there's tons of those windows there with someone at Ngannou's skill level.
Right.
And I didn't necessarily think about it as much, but where Stipe got in trouble is when Ngannou does that just like bull charge, 1-2 punch combo, and it looks genuinely like you're being attacked by a wall. And Stipe was backing up when he got caught. That's something to think about.
Yeah, for sure. And like the best thing about Cyril Gane is that he has like very great lateral movement. So like he's really good at moving out to the side, not moving back up. You know, Teddy Atlas in here. Teddy Atlas, don't you never move back up. You know, you fucking move out to the side, you dude. Fucking Teddy hates when motherfuckers move back. Like they just move straight back. You never go straight back. You move out to the sides. Cyril Gane is really good at that. Heavyweights really aren't that good at that. You know, there's a lot of different factors going into this fight that you have to take into account, bro. It's a very interesting one, bro. It's going to be a really good one.
I do think his lateral movement is one of the biggest reasons he just doesn't look normal. I think you're right there. Like when you see him fight, and it's just you see the size, and your brain's not used to seeing like those dimensions of movement. And he's looking at it going, "What the fuck's happening here?" But this is, if you talk about high levels, everyone knows obviously that weight classes are there for a reason. So the biggest dudes with the most skill are just the best dudes through all the rankings. And this is like the apex of the apex as far as fights are concerned. And Ngannou might be the. And now, is it too much of a hype job to say he might be the hardest hitter in UFC history?
I mean, who else? Name another one, bro. Like I can't think of one. I don't know, bro. Like
no, I mean, Lewis is comparable. JDS even had a hard punch, but none of them are like there. I mean, his shit is ridiculous.
Man, put JDS down. Put Kane down. Nigga, like the only person he didn't put down was Lewis. And if he would have put Lewis down, it would have been solidified, honestly.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and again, I don't know if Lewis is known for power or his chin, but at the end of the day, we've never seen anyone like Cyril Gane specifically, as far as that combination of tools is concerned, and we've never seen anyone hit as hard as Francis. So, shit, it's a good fight, but I got my money in Cyril's corner, man. I think style beats fight. What was that Conor McGregor thing where he's like precision beats power and timing beats speed and all that shit? I think that's facts. I think there's a lot of situations where that applies. Most situations is where that applies. And then the power is for those outlying situations where people just get knocked the fuck out. The Michael Venom Page, Douglas Lima moments.
Yeah. Speed beats power and timing beats speed. Or something like that, dude. I think that was like the original one.
I remember the speed beats power thing. I completely agree with that. And there's something about the image I have in my head of watching that first Stipe and Ngannou fight, of seeing him so gassed, seeing him like literally look like he just worked like a 50-hour shift and he's trying to like go to bed or something. It was really stunning. And I don't think since then we've seen him have to go anywhere close to the third round. He knocked out Stipe almost immediately in the second round.
Yeah.
And I think Gane could go 3 rounds, let alone 5.
Yeah, for sure. Easy. Like, I mean, he didn't break any sweat in the Volkov or the Lewis fight, dude. He was fucking ready for it.
That doesn't make any sense. That's like freak of nature stuff, man. And that's the stuff that you look at where you can't deny that. You look at it and go, how is he going to beat somebody like that?
Dude, I have 3 letters, bro. Like, I quite honestly...
Don't do it.
What? No. I got 3 letters, bro. And like, quite honestly, this is something that we don't see that much in the UFC, that we should see all the fucking time. And like, this thing literally breaks the best fighters, whether they're 240 pounds like Gane or 100 and fucking 30 pounds like goddamn anybody else, fucking Marlon Vera or whatever the fuck, Cheeto they call him, I hear. But like bro, the 3 letters is JAB. If Francis Ngannou works that jab, if instead of rushing like we said, like a fucking a moving wall, and if he just takes his time, he slowly enters into the pocket and he pumps that jab out, and not only just like throwing the jab every time, pump it out, pump fake, see where like Gane is, because just like people or heavyweight fighters rather, haven't seen guys like Gane. Gane hasn't seen that shit from a heavyweight fighter. He hasn't seen a motherfucker that's going to take his time, close the distance, quiet, not quietly, but close the distance, passively, with the threat of knocking you out if you choose to come forward. So if we see Francis Ngannou play the like the ring generalship game where he kind of corners, he walks Cyril down and he like corners him and he just stalks him and he works that jab and he feints that jab and like he doesn't give Cyril what he wants, which is that big load up. He gives him that jab and he just kind of fucking pesters Cyril Gane like Cyril pesters everybody else. Well, then, that's a different fucking fight, man.
I agree with that. Yeah, I think that's definitely something that it doesn't seem like has been his specialty. It's always been like that. Whether it move a little bit and then explode because that's what you get out of your muscles.
Right.
It'd be interesting to see what a consistent jab would do to the movement of Cyril because for every jab, for every time you have to make him rock back and forth, for every time you have to make him reset, you're draining that stamina bar.
Right.
And I'm sorry, the guy's in shape, but the size of him, man, there has to be a limit.
There has to be a limit, bro.
That would be my go-to is I don't think he's going to beat him on raw conditioning, but I think Francis could go in there with a good strategy to just try and even out that conditioning. Let Cyril get a bit more sloppy with his lateral or backwards movement. Maybe get a little bit more sloppy thinking about throwing a knee or it's kind of what you said, ducking under as well, and just catches him. Do him with an overeem.
Yeah, bro. Like, and like that's really the big thing. That some people rather would kind of downplay with Francis Ngannou going on the podcast of Teddy Atlas or Mike Tyson. Like these two guys particularly. These two guys love the fight game. Like they absolutely love it, and then they have like fucking lifetimes of experience thanks to Customato, who basically made them both what they were in the fight game. And both these guys love Francis Ngannou. They see the potential. So like one of the first things that these guys are probably like have to be saying to this man is like the jab. The jab is the basis for everything. The jab can be your best friend, it can be your fucking enemy, but like it's the most useful tool when we're talking about the stand-up striking aspect. And like if like Gane like just gets that in his head, man, like he could be a very unstoppable force.
Yeah, I mean, Ngannou, you mean?
Oh yeah, I keep getting fucking mixed up, dude.
The names are confusing because it's like Gane.
Yeah.
I was gonna make a joke when you said the three letters that were the most important. Obvious, I mean, jab is 100% the right answer, but I thought you were gonna say HGH.
HGH.
Like, come on, man.
I mean,
but, unironically, you want to see the best fights. You let these guys, get a little hopped up sometimes, bro. Thank you. What is wrong with society? Why are we like this? I've never can I just go off real quick? I've never understood how everyone can be aware of like the ludicrous amount of corruption that occurs in every industry, and yet when it comes to like this keeping up appearances thing, where we're like, no, we would never let our fighters take drugs. Oh my goodness, the purity of martial arts. It's like, shut the fuck up, man. The mob used to run boxing. Like let like the absolute timeline of the human physical ability, let that be achieved. You know what I mean? Like science and athletes are gonna meet. They already do with recovery and like all these techniques, right?
Yeah.
And dude, in the future they're gonna have like augmentations and robotic arms and shit. You're gonna have to have like an android division specifically for people who have, android body parts. Exactly. Why are we so objectively like Puritan about it when we talk about things like there are so many healthy ways to take testosterone, isn't there? Or like HGH.
Yeah. Fucking my hero Dan Henderson, dude. Nigga was a fucking superhero on that shit, dude.
You wouldn't have an H-bomb without fucking science. I'm just saying.
Bro. Hey, there you go. That is true, dude.
It's just weird. Like One of the things that I've always wanted to discuss with an American about MMA, an American that's got like a background in it, is just how fascinating the culture of weight cuts is. Because it kind of alludes to that same mentality where it's like you're keeping up appearances when everyone knows what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, why not just be forthright about it? Like, okay, guys, we need to rein this weight cut shit in and do like the water testing or whatever, or the hydration testing, or this is what it is. In fact, it seems like the UFC is leaning more that way. They changed it so that they can weigh in, and then
Mm.
they'll do ceremonial weigh-ins where you get all your photographs, so that fighters don't look so depleted.
Yeah.
Which seems like another way of kind of covering it up, to be honest.
For sure. Weigh-ins are like that culture is absolutely nuts. And this is coming as a person that has I haven't, like, I can only imagine what like high school wrestling was like in the States. But I did wrestling in the Far East. That's what it was called, like on the military bases in Asia. Like so you had South Korea,
You
where I lived.
wrestled in Asia?
Yeah. Like I lived on like a military base when I was or not a military base, but like my sister works for Dodia, and so I lived with her in Korea for like a few years, or like 4 or 5. And I went to school over there, and like over there they have this thing called like Far East. It's like a big competition, and so like basically on base, all the high schools that have like wrestling will get together and they'll wrestle with one another. But like just like wrestling, dude, like it's really taxing, especially when it comes to weight cutting. And like I could just tell you a story, and this is like from when I was like 14, 15 years old, just to like give you a gauge of like, of like how these people will treat children, dude, when it comes to weight cutting, dude. So I'm 15 years old. I have like an exhibition match or some shit like that, dude. And this coach, like this dude that's like, he was like a Navy SEAL or something, like a crazy fucking guy, always smiling, but you can tell that he has hurt people and can hurt people very easily. But he's like, hey, how you doing? It's me. He's a really cool guy. So like and like the assistant coach, Coach Powell, took me and another dude to the gym on base 24 hours. And in this gym, he had us wear sweatpants. We wore a hoodie, and we put Jolly Ranchers in our mouth. He had us put Jolly Ranchers in our mouth, and he had us do workouts in a sauna. He had us do push-ups. He had us do sit-ups. He had us do like fucking burpees and shit. With a hoodie on, with sweatpants on, with Jolly Ranchers in our mouth. And the purpose of the Jolly Ranchers were to conjure saliva, so that way you can spit them in like a cup, so that way you can lose water weight that way as well. So yeah, dude, like like that's insane for a fucking 15-year-old fucking boy,
You were
like
15?
yeah,
You're 15 at this point?
yeah, I was like 15 at that point, or like 14, either or. But like
dehydrating a developing brain is crazy.
It's insane, dude. Like wrestling, it treats these boys like young Spartans, dude. Like that's why wrestlers, when they get into MMA, bro, they're like fucking savages, dude. Because they've went through like legit trauma, so like, yeah, dude, the weight cutting culture is it's bad, dude. Like I disagree with it for sure.
I have easily more than 100 questions about all the shit that you just said. The wrestling in Korea. What are you talking about? I thought I was like relatively worldly, but Jesus Christ. The thing about there's a couple points there. The last point that you made about like wrestlers when they're in the UFC, they're just knowing how to grind like that and having that tank and like being so professional about weight cuts. The benefit of that, which is what boggles me about Cyril Gane, is the benefit of that is the comparison to the UK is our point scoring system, our point scoring tournaments. We don't have to do weight cuts for that. Thank God. There's not a culture of that over there. And I started finding out about it when I went to high school here. And when you have to do that weight cut and you feel like you're going to die and you're vomiting and you're like so drained and you make weight and you feel that success and then you go and get your ass whooped over and over again, like that at that age, like think of what life experience that is,
It's
like
bad.
especially how psychological fighting is. And you usually, I feel like, see fighters come out of that with a more kind of relaxed, um, let anything kind of happen attitude. They take losses and they learn from them. And Cyril Gane kind of has that vibe, which is so interesting to me because it doesn't come from that background. But I think that people who specialize either way of just doing competition a lot when they're young um, benefit tremendously. I just think that there has to be some kind of damage you're doing to people who are like 14, 15, 16, that are making weights that are ludicrous or just cutting down to a stupid level of dehydration. There has to be something long term that is you're not getting the best athlete you could. If you
Yeah.
just taught them fundamentals nonstop and didn't tax their body like that, that's going
Yeah.
to be better. But yeah, the weight cut culture is I don't know where you think they're gonna go with it, honestly, because it looks like UFC is leaning more into it.
But like yeah, I mean it, because that's all it knows, and because it is morphed into like this big entity now. So because that's all the UFC has ever known, and because the UFC is as big as it feels that it is right in everything that it does. And like you can really see that in the way they treat their fighters. And that really that shouldn't be the case. And like yeah, like the one championship, dude. Like not only are the fights exciting, not only do they allow knees to a grounded opponent to force action, not only do they tell their referees to keep the fight going, say fight. You watch them fight, dude, and like sometimes like the fighters will just be like walking around looking at each other, and then like the ref will just be like action, and like the fighters will get like a jolt out of him saying that, and like then they'll like throw a punch, like it's crazy, bro. It's a fun promotion, and like they are really good about the whole weight cut thing.
Like what do they do for weight cuts? What's their program?
I think it's like your natural weight. Like they do it around like what a person like naturally weighs, so that like people that walk around at like fucking 220 can't like cut down to like 185 or some shit, like
That's not human.
Yeah. Or like like the fucking 205 even, dude. Like that's a crazy amount of weight, cutting 220 pounds down to 205. Like
that
Jan.
happens. That happen and but okay. So the thing that I found about it that bothered me, and it's, do you remember that clip of Cyborg crying when because they didn't have female bantamweight yet? They only had,
Yeah.
I think, straw. Yeah. Do you remember that clip of her? Like where you see like this lady's like used to being punched in the face in Brazil, and she's crying at how painful a weight cut is.
Yeah.
And every fighter that talks about it, like it's the worst. They're about to go fight to the death, and the worst experience is not even the fight. It's literally just cutting weight in that way. The as far as like how it comes about, it's because they have to.
Yeah.
One guy sees the loophole. Look at that.
It's nuts, bro.
Look how hench she is. She does like deadlifting, all that stuff. The pain you feel from gaining muscle like that is something crazy by itself, and she's crying. Yeah, but she goes on to do this, which I mean, seems like it's worth it. But yeah, when the fighters talk about it in that regard, and they see it as like, I have no choice because hey, this guy's going to be cutting weight and he's going to have that weight advantage on the night of the fight. How is one policing it? Because no matter what a fighter is going to try, a promoter is going to try, what does one do to police it? I've heard about like hydration checks or whatever they call them, like regular hydration checks on the week of the fight.
Right.
But how does one like keep that balance so the dudes are doing that? Because I mean, that's exactly what the UFC would have to adopt if they gave a shit.
Yeah, I think I think that is the metric that they would have to, or like that is the thing that they would have to,
Oh my god.
adopt or use, like the dehydration or like the hydration checks. Like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that a dude, because he's been wrestling all of his life, Kamaru Usman can literally be that goddamn big and cut down to 170.
Yeah.
And because he's a wrestler and has been doing it his whole life, it's just nothing to him now. He just does it. It's
Yeah.
like that shouldn't be the case. Like he should be fighting in obviously like maybe like
He
205
should
or
be at
some shit.
middleweight.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah, he should
no,
be at
no.
middleweight
Oh
at
no.
least.
Yeah. Not 205. 185. I forgot about 185. He should be at
He
like,
should.
what's up?
Please go ahead.
No. Yeah. I was just gonna say like he should be at 185, but like he knows that he has to worry about dudes like let's just think of some dudes that have been at middleweight, Paulo Costa or fucking dude
Joel.
nigga Anthony Johnson, bro.
Oh yeah, Anthony Johnson. No,
Bro,
Anthony Johnson's a light heavyweight, isn't he?
that nigga used to be a welterweight. He used to be a welterweight and he started fighting at light heavyweight, bro.
That guy is the size of a linebacker, man. Making 170 is a joke. I mean, what is happening there? He's
This
using
nigga.
like, look at that. Oh,
Yeah, the water.
I'm still watching the Cyborg video.
Yeah,
It's like, oh,
it's really bad. But yeah, like that's like that shouldn't be. Like I've always like ever since I was a fucking a kid, I've hated that. I've hated people that are like huge naturally and do all this shit like Cyborg is doing that she has to do honestly to just fight.
well, Cyborg specifically because they didn't even have a weight.
Yeah, they didn't have a weight
They were
division for
fighting
her.
guys. Yeah. It's like it's unfortunately it's almost like a form of cheating because it's like a gentleman's agreement amongst all the fighters where they're
Hmm.
like basically like guys, hey, you could fight at middleweight, but that means I'd have to trust you to go up to your natural weight of light heavyweight, and you could fight at welterweight, but I have to trust you not to cut weight and then come my division and then show up on fight night 20 pounds heavier than me. You know what I mean? Like there's and nobody can trust each other to do that because they're all in it to survive. It's for money.
Hmm.
So like as long as that loophole exists and that loophole is open, like that gap is open where the UFC is not doing the adequate testing, it's going to happen.
Right.
Now, an example is like we were talking about HGH and stuff. An example is how they adopted USADA and really like cracked down on that. I think the next stage, if we're talking about making it pure, like really purifying the sport in that way, is to get rid of weight cutting, add all the steroids. Get rid of the weight cuts, fucking jab them up with as much like healthy chemicals as you can, and let like the apex of humanity be that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, the weight cutting thing, by the way, I was just going to compare it to basically these specialists that have been like wrestlers are the biggest example, but
Yeah.
weight cut culture here. These people who are completely specialized in that way, considering that both Francis and Cyril are not. And I think there's, I don't know, I don't know where I was specifically going with it before we started the weight cut stuff, but I remember that's where it came from.
I feel like a big thing, and a lot of people might hate this because of like I don't know, they might think that it might it's just like a convoluted thing to a lot of people. But more weight classes, like goddamn, like we had to make featherweight, had to make bantamweight. I remember when it was just like lightweight to, fucking heavyweight or whatever, so like we were able to adopt these other classes. We can make a cruiserweight division, we can do the super welterweight, we can do the super light, we can do this shit. Like I mean the UFC already has what 600 700 fighters on tap or some shit like that, dude. It's like and all these people have to like meet like these fucking rigid requirements in terms of weight. Man, stop it, Dana. Like you can fucking make these niggas put on these ridiculous fucking little shorts and shit they don't get paid from, but you can't make new weight classes, nigga. You can do it. Is it?
Yeah, bro. At the end of the day, Uncle Dana is he's had these thoughts. He's had these conversations. I know he has. Like the guy's teetering on a billionaire. Like this is his baby. This whole industry is his baby.
Right.
So there is a reason. There's something about perhaps events where they'd have to have too many promotions or too many fight nights or whatever to like allow all the. I don't know what it is, but or maybe there's something about too many champions, if that makes sense. Like keeping the possible number of champions at one time means that there's more recognition for whoever is champion. Maybe there's something about that as well. But as it's going, if the weight cut thing doesn't change as it stands, shit. It's just going to be what it is, man. Everyone, I think, is going to be looking at the heavyweight division. Oh, and what about a super heavyweight? Or like, why is there a cap on heavyweight? I've never understood that.
I don't know. I don't know why there's a cap on heavyweight, honestly.
Doesn't Ngannou like cut down a bit to make 265?
Yeah.
This guy's walking around almost 300 pounds of muscle.
Hell yeah, bro. It's fucking insane, dude. Like, there's a lot of dudes like that out there. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. You know, like maybe if there's too many fighters, Dana should fucking pull a Vince McMahon and just make another brand on like within the same company. You know, like fucking making a SmackDown of sorts to like the UFC. You know, like I don't know, like if you don't want to make another I mean more divisions, like why not make like a smaller promotion rather than using other smaller promotions? Make your own promotion that you can use for cultivating talent. Like the WWE again with like NXT, they use like NXT as like a smaller brand that still has like a wide following to cultivate the talent to bring them up to the actual, you know, the Raw and the SmackDown brands. But they fuck these people up because the writing's bad or whatever. I don't. But like it's something along those lines. Instead of having like a one promotion thing or one brand thing, where maybe like because I understand that. What was this text from? I understand that, you know, they have a lot of amateur promotions and they have a lot of smaller professional promotions, but if the UFC actually made a smaller promotion that is still the UFC in a way, just like rebranded, and like make it for rising up and coming talent, like I feel like that would be like a very big thing, and like I feel like that could only help the UFC in the end, and like it would only like it would just help everybody. Like I feel.
It has been interesting to see the different ways they've tried that with the like Ultimate Fighter and like they pull from the WFA,
right?
But what are they doing now? Like they're mainly leveraging Contender Series, and then Dana White had like his going around picking a fighter thing. Wait, Dana White's looking for a fight.
Like, so I'm talking about like something like, cause like and that should cost a lot of money. You know, probably significantly less than actually like making full shows or whatever. But like something to that effect that is well, I mean, it is weekly, dude, but like it's like instead of like the aesthetic of these guys coming to like this one house like on some Big Brother shit, and it's like an elimination type shit, because we've already had that. Just make it actual fight cards with actual young talent that fight for you know, the UFC, but like rebranded, and just have like these young guys fight in these promotions. Like there's like a young dude coming out of Liverpool that we were talking about, Paddy Pimblett.
Yeah.
I love the hype around this kid, but like I've seen hype trends like that get fucking flattened really goddamn quick as soon as they get in the UFC. If you ask me, Paddy Pimblett should not be in the UFC. He might, make it good in like his first few fights, but he's a lightweight. Nigga, when he gets to the point to where he's kissing the top 15, bro, my man is going to be challenged, dude, to the utmost. And I don't know if he's ready for like some deep shit like that. It would be better if the UFC had like a smaller brand to really make these kids and really cultivate not only their skills in the octagon, but how they carry themselves outside of the octagon in the interviews, to media, because like they're guys like Paddy that have I'm sorry if I'm monologuing, by the way.
No, go ahead. I'm carrying on. I have a counterpoint or an observation as well.
Okay. But it's bad. Like, I hate to see guys like Paddy that have like this fucking amassing cult following that are just about to get thrown to the fucking wolves because Dana just wants to make more money off them. But if they lose because he doesn't know how to fucking cultivate talent, then he just like throws them in a dumpster, you know?
Yeah. You talk about Liverpool. I mean, I don't know if it was as bad, but it was pretty bad what happened to Darren Till. But I think it's a good example of that. That is, I think we've talked about this. That is a little bit of Vince McMahon that I really, really wish Dana had. You know, that because like I think the insecurity is okay if you have a whole promotion now, like an under promotion that has a whole roster in and of itself, and you're setting up fight cards, you're just not going to get enough eyes on it to justify the cost.
Right.
And it's like that's not the case. If you really got creative with it, if you made storylines for these people, if you promoted it right, you could really you could have something huge. And then the consequence and the result of them succeeding there is like they get to graduate up to the UFC. Think about how many like robust and like very invested anime fans there are. You know what I mean? Just as an example. And there, I think a lot of even Marvel fans, a lot of these like hero stories, these hero journeys are really marketable, and that people like invest money into things that encompass these like hero journeys. So it's another area where I wish Dana White was a bit, I don't know if it's more, maybe he just doesn't have the free time, to be honest, but if he was just a bit more creative or like invested in his in the youth a bit more instead of seeing them as quick cash grabs, because I think that's what he sees.
This nigga has the time to fucking make shows with fucking Dean Thomas and goddamn Matt Serra.
Yeah.
You know, fucking bro, like chilling with the boys and shit, nigga. Bro, I don't want to hear that shit. Like, dude, I'm sorry, dude. I'm spurging out, dude. I'm like popping, I'm marking out, dude, talking about this shit. Another thing I like about Vince McMahon, bro, is that he is with the shit, bro. Like, not only is he like a strict fucking guy, he takes care of himself, but like he won't tell a wrestler to do something in the ring that he wouldn't do. He takes bumps. He fucked around and like blew his ACL out, in a live fucking Raw taping, and he just like sat there, dude. Like, wait, hold on, bro. like I gotta show you this shit, dude. It's so fucking crazy. Vince.
How long ago was this? Was this like in the golden era, like the 2000s?
No, yeah, this is probably like the end of like the
Vince McMahon says the N-word.
Yeah, that's like the one. Have you seen that one?
No.
Oh, bro, let's see that one real fast. Dude,
please.
This is like fucking 06, bro. This is still a good time for wrestling, I'd say.
Yeah, same.
How you doing? Yeah. What's good in the hood? Just hold it down, trying to take care of my nigga.
That right there. That is the perfect clip to encompass everything we're saying that Dana is not. Could you ever imagine Dana White taking himself so like not seriously that he would do this and it would actually be a meme?
No,
That's
bro.
Incredible.
Dude,
he said, "What's good in the hood?" Man?
Hey, dude, that's not even a kicker, bro. Like, this is honestly a callback, bro. I don't know if you remember, like, back in the day, Booker T was like cutting a promo to Hulk Hogan.
I remember that clip. Yeah,
he was like, "I'm coming for you, nigga."
Yeah, he went off.
Yeah, I guess it was a callback because like later on, fucking he passes Booker T.
Bro, the fact that someone wrote that, like, someone in staff was like, "This is gonna be hilarious."
He didn't just say that.
Yeah, bro. But
I used to be such a fan of Booker T's, man.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah. Didn't he do the Spinneroonie or whatever?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
But at the Royal Rumble, he tears his quad, and instead of like rolling around in pain, this man makes sure that the show goes on, bro. Like, watch this shit.
Never not Billy strutting, mate.
Right here. Boom. Right there. He blows his fucking quad right there, dude. And right now, he's in excruciating pain, by the way, bro. He's in so much pain, but like, Vince McMahon is such a fucking boss. Vince McMahon is such like, dude, he cares about the product so goddamn much that he is going to bite the pain. He's going to fight it all, dude. And he is going to like make sure the show goes on, dude.
I've missed these years. Yeah, honestly, I'm watching this.
Yeah. But like, I think that they started doing this because like Vince McMahon like literally couldn't talk. So like, it's probably why they just started throwing each other out, dude. Like, dude, if Dana White cared that much about his fucking product, if it was really his baby to that extent, like we would see better results in the UFC than we're seeing right now.
I think it's his. I do think it is his baby. Like, I do, but I just don't think he has that creative angle. I just don't think he has the maybe part of it is like just how much he wants to be a professional sports mogul versus he wants to be Dana White of UFC. You know what I mean? Like, something about him when I've seen him in interviews and obviously tons of footage gives me the vibe, especially with the Reebok deal, that he just wants to be at the level of people who own sports teams. You know what I mean? Like, that's his goal. Whereas Vince McMahon's like, I want the WWE to be everywhere on everything at every time.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, you could feel that. And again, maybe it's just the creative angle that he comes at, because Vince McMahon is, there are, like I said, there's a lot of things that if Dana White, maybe he went out to, what's that place everyone goes in California called Joshua Tree? He took some ayahuasca. He sat down, had a few, edibles, some Stars of Death with Joey Diaz.
Fucking Stars of Death cocksucker, take it.
He sits out, he sees like a naked Lee Sayat in a ditch somewhere, and he sits with him for a while, and he just trips, and he looks at. There's a lot from Bellator, and there's a lot from One they could take and learn.
Joe Rogan, I'm going deep, Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, let me ask you a question, Joe Rogan. You ever take 2 fucking Stars of Death, Joe Rogan? You ever be on that fucking plane when you take 2 Stars of Death, you're not going back. You're entering the dark place, Joe Rogan. You really enter it. I'm sorry. My bad.
Bro, that is really good. That's a proper good. I was gonna start doing Lee Sayat, but I couldn't. He's like, well, I also did like a bit of them with him, and I woke up with like a sandwich in my ass.
That sounds just like Lee, dude.
It's like such a strange combination of people. It's like an ex-gangster dude and this little like Humpty Dumpty looking person that he found that he's just like drugging every day. What a combination.
Dude, yeah, bro. Like when Lee Sayat is fucking like high and like he's like laughing and trying to explain some shit at the same time. And he's like, I can't even do the voice, bro. It's so hilarious.
Can you please go on YouTube real quick, if you're willing to just take it and look at? There's a compilation. I think it's called "People Overdosing on Joey Diaz's Show."
Oh yeah, they take the Stars of Death or whatever.
They just get this man invites people on his podcast and has them overdose on THC. It's fucking genius, man. Where?
Stars.
Yeah, it might be Stars of Death
compilation. Yeah.
Bang. There you go.
Oh.
There's one female comedian who's on there, and her voice is just like, she's like, "Hi, I need to go lay down." I was like, this woman thinks she's gonna die.
I couldn't imagine being that high and listening to Joey Diaz, like talking a microphone, like an expensive, high quality microphone, just like talking in my ears, dude.
Just growling at you, yeah. Like you feel the slow, low vibration.
The Super Bowls and losing. Jesus. You know, and I still remember being like my in-laws the first time, and they had the chips out. They were Bronco fans. I always liked Elway, so I was kind of cheering for Elway. And they lost. Okay, your team loses the second year in a row. Now you have parties. They can't lose, and they lose again. You know how many houses I walked out of Denver after the team lost?
Wait till the screen shifts over to the
Then they lose like four Super Bowls they lost. The Broncos, yeah.
And dude, like, it's always funny. Like, when you're, like, really high, it's always, like, people talking about shit like this. And it's, like, you're listening to what they're saying, but you're not. Like, the person talking is just, like, adding to, like, your fucking paranoia, dude. Like, I know exactly where this woman is right now, dude. Like, she's just like, shut the fuck. Can you shut the fuck up for a second, Joey?
She's like, you have to stop, please. Yeah. Having a stroke.
It's bad, dude.
And they ended up winning.
What's up?
Just a real quick thing. Edibles are way, way, way more psychoactive than smoking weed. Yeah. So even if you're like someone who just casually smokes, and then you don't take edibles, and then you take a fucking high dose of Stars of Death, you might as well be on a low dose of mushrooms.
People forget that weed is a psychedelic, dude.
It is, man. It's complete. It makes you see shit, and when you smoke it goes through your lungs to get into your blood. But when you eat it, it has to go through your liver, and when it does that, your liver releases a chemical that makes you start literally tripping.
Yeah, bro.
Crazy.
We have like these, or I used to make these things called firecrackers. You ever heard of these?
No.
What it is, like, say you get like Ritz, right? You have to go with the fanciest cracker, and the fanciest cracker by far is Ritz.
Named after a hotel, right?
I do believe so. It's a very nice hotel, the Ritz, I believe. Mm-hmm. So like you get the Ritz and you get peanut butter or like Nutella. I use peanut butter, and you get like some high quality marijuana, and then you grind it down. Yeah, you grind it down, and you sprinkle said marijuana over like the peanut butter on the Ritz, and you close you put peanut butter on both sides of the Ritz, and you close it peanut butter with the weed in between, and then you wrap it up in aluminum foil. You put it in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes on like 220 degrees Fahrenheit, and and then you take it out, and like the marijuana is like oozed in with the peanut butter, and you eat it, and it doesn't really taste so that good, but like it fucks you up, bro. It takes you to a whole other place.
Dude, that sounds tremendous.
Yeah,
I have to try that.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That sounds like the way we'll make edibles in like the post-apocalypse.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, it's like we don't have fancy dancy Stars of Death and shit inside the packets. It's like, no, Greg, give me some of that aluminum foil. Like, let me teach you something real quick. That's fucking incredible. I'm gonna try that.
Give me a couple of them Ritz. We ain't got no Ritz. All we got is saltines now.
It would also be cool if you have like a bunch of mates over to have like a little party platter of fucking Ritz crackers infused with weed.
That'd be very good, dude. That's a nice little snacks to hand out to people.
No one knows why they're starting to like see 3 of your TV. It's like, what the fuck's going on?
Oh yeah, we haven't seen this woman yet, dude. Let's see her face.
Waiters never.
Look at this bitch, bro. She is lousy with this THC in her system, dude.
Face.
Never slow down.
Look at those blinks.
You know, That's what
He's
the
just
true
stuck
meaning
in
of
a
a fan
frown.
is. Anybody could, you can always tell.
Yeah, can you skip forward real quick? I remember this clip.
A great example.
Press pause real fast.
Back in there before.
Okay, okay. This is gonna be like Where's Waldo? Okay, you need to follow me here. There is literal 1 second where Lee transfers the camera over after Joey leaves to go open the door, which is like what happens next in the scene. And he switches the camera straight away because he's laughing. If you could pause on that moment, it's one of the best moments.
Like,
I've ever seen
when does it come up?
I think it's probably like a minute after this because Joey starts going, "Holy shit, you're really, really high, aren't you?" Okay, let me open the window.
Let's see.
Yeah, so as soon as Joey
Nobody
leaves,
went to the game.
Where's this?
When I was a Braves fan,
Right here?
when I was a kid, like in the 80s.
Yes, around there. If you just kind of like slowly go through.
Sorry, you okay?
Sarah, you okay? Oh, that's the worst question you can ask a motherfucker too, dude. Am I okay? Nigga, I'm high.
The answer's always clearly not, you fucking asshole. You become stupid.
I fucking killed you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, let's hook her up here. Let's open the door.
Okay, I think right here, Lee's like, "Oh shit, Joey's gone. Let me switch the camera real quick." And then he sees that he's laughing at her.
Damn, bro, look at her face. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Look at his face.
That is perfect, bro. That's
I remember
perfect.
this moment. I remember when I saw this moment for the first time. I just died. Because look, she looks like she's at a funeral.
She is seeing all that is, bro, all at once. You know?
Genuinely, yeah.
That's insane, dude.
And then Lee's such an asshole. He's a nice guy, obviously, because he switches the camera straight away, so she doesn't have to.
If I were Lee Sayat, instead of chuckling, I would look at her right now, and I would say, "Hey, look at me," and then she would look at me, and then I'd be like, "You're fucked," you know? You're fucked. You're going. Don't think you're not going. You're going.
No, man, you can't intensify.
No,
like that.
that's what I like
horrible.
to do. That's what I like to do.
Horrible.
I'd say, honey, you are going. Do you understand? And I would just say that, and I wouldn't stop saying that. You're going. You're going right
She's
now.
just sitting there high as shit, going, Where am I going? Please, he's telling me I'm going. If I was sitting next to her, and I was gonna do a similar thing, I would start like breaking her down in the moment. Like she'd look at me and be like, "Look at me," and I'd go, "You're not prepared for this. You're never prepared for this. You're gonna lose. You might die."
Bro,
Just, why not?
Dude. Yeah, I haven't taken like any of these types of edibles. But yeah, I could only imagine.
I don't even know what the metrics are on the Stars of Death. Remember, if you're not someone who smokes very often and you're just invited to this guy's show and it's Joey, like he's like, "Yeah, so basically I'm gonna give you this shit," and you're like, "Oh yeah, I'll take it, Uncle Joey, thanks," and it's like 600 grams in a small like jelly thing. I mean,
so I think it is. I think it's like 500 milligrams or some shit.
This motherfucker is actually like drugging people. he's casually like overdosing his friends. He's got like his little minion right there.
Oh, didn't he like? He like fucking switched.
He switched so fast.
Yeah, I really.
Oh man. It's interesting to have a conversation with this fella for sure.
And my son came and got me, and they said I was walking
Oh,
around.
my bad. Okay, so here's what we gotta do, bro. We're getting way off track, dude. Let's wrap up. Let's wrap up this Cyril Gane and Ngannou thing, dude. So
yeah, you're cool.
Here's what I'll say in closing, and then I'll give you the floor as well.
Thanks.
I feel as though Cyril Gane is a prodigy at heavyweight because he moves like no other heavyweight can, other than John Jones, if we ever get to see him again. And like he has a wide variety of tools. Not only standing up in the clinch, on the ground, he's a scary dude. And we can't say the same for Ngannou, but what we can say for Ngannou is that, or at least what I can say for Ngannou is that Ngannou has been learning. He is still learning. and he effectively went out there and like decimated Stipe Miocic, the greatest heavyweight of all time. I feel as though if he can get that jab working, and if he takes his time, that's really important. If he takes his time and he stalks Cyril Gane down, I really feel as though, you know, he could change you know, the tides of this fight. But, you know, it all remains to be seen, and I'm interested to see it. Sid?
Yeah, I think I'd say I'm coming from a very similar perspective as far as like anticipating what we're going to see. The test of how they are on the ground, it looks just from a preliminary glance that Cyril's probably a bit more comfortable on the ground, but seeing like where in that dimension Ngannou's developed, and I think probably the most interesting point as far as what we might see or what to look out for is the bit of the conversation we had about Teddy Atlas and the jab. Because if there is any inclination within the first round that Ngannou's going for a very kind of progressive, offensive, regular like jab, to kind of break that down, that will be a huge turning point, I think, from my perspective. But I think the UFC's, you know, Andre the Giant, I think he's going to reign supreme. And I don't know if that's my gut or if that's just how the hype train feels, but I think he's something different. Well, they say that he's built different. And yeah, I don't think there's any other aspects of the fight that are really going to test it. He might get unlucky and get caught, or it's going to be some kind of a methodical, relatively high IQ fight. I'm going to try and in the interim, between now and the fight, see if there's any like hidden footage out there of them training, or if anybody knows how long they've been training together for, or like what kind of background he has on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited as hell, man.
Yeah, excited as hell, dude. I don't know. For now, I don't think the fight is scheduled at all. Fucking
no. Probably got 6 months or so.
Ngannou is still traveling the world, impregnating all types of foreign women, dude.
As he should, man. We need those genetics in the human genome.
Very, very fucking true, bro. Could you imagine Francis Ngannou going to like the Netherlands and having sex with some woman, dude? Making like some fucking.
Listen, man. I was talking to somebody about, for the sake of humanity, who's that ginormous like chick from New Zealand? No, from Australia. That is
Megan Anderson.
For the sake of science, those two need to have a baby. They need to have triplets or something for the sake of science.
We need to bring back fucking like the old Colonel Sanders looking plantation boss that is like that like fucking made the slaves for. Yeah. Oh, what you want to do here? Like, look, I know. Hey, I do declare that I know a lot about. I can do the fucking the Southern gentleman, dude, very well. But yeah,
I do declare all of y'all are fucked.
But yeah, dude.
I think like maybe we could do some hitch like social engineering there and get them on a date or something to make it more natural. Because just imagine the human being that they would yield. You know what I mean? Like that's where our species needs to go. We need to become like giant. I don't know, dominators. If we run into aliens, I want us to have a size advantage.
Yeah, you have that fucking few inches, bro, for them jabs, bro.
Yeah, basically.
But yeah, man. As far as that goes, yeah, I'm excited for the fight. Still no date on when it's gonna be set up, but fortunately, there are gonna be a lot of fights between now and then. Namely, the fight that I'm looking forward, the fight of the year, in my opinion, it's gonna be Nick Diaz versus Robbie Lawler 2. What do you think about that, dude?
That might have that might have to be a full-on conversation, because I'm reading a lot of people shitting on Mr. Nick Diaz as if they haven't done their homework.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a dogfight, man. Can you imagine the shit talk? Do you remember when Robbie fought Nick the first time? Yeah. Robbie was successful at that point, but he'd never fought anybody that trash talked like Nick. Nick, they have no beef. Robbie's a nice guy. Nick walked out in the first seconds of this fight and he went, Stockton, motherfucker, Stockton. And then the camera snaps over to Robin. He's like, what the fuck is going on?
Nick, bro, Nick, what's going on?
He's like, and Nate's in the background going, yeah, talk that shit, Nick.
God damn.
Watch out, he might be a wrestler now. Oh man,
bro! All right, that's
good old man. Anyway, we'll maybe end on that note. That's definitely going to be a banger. What do we have? What do we have aside from them? I think for sure there are some pretty good headlines or pretty good main card. Main events coming up.
Jared Cannonier and Kelvin Gastelum.
This weekend is the Musashi.
Musashi. Oh, is it?
Musashi, yeah.
Oh yeah, he's gonna fucking fuck this guy up. I don't know. Look at this John Salter fella.
Yeah,
Let's take
John
a look at this. Not trying to take anything away from this guy based on how he looks in this picture. Seems to have fucking 10-7. Dude, look at that. 10 subs, 7 KOs, beat Kendall Grove. That's a notable name.
Third round, okay.
It doesn't matter. Notable names aren't that important. He still has a lot of wins, but this is fucking Gegard Musashi. When you look at you look at Lyoto Machida, Douglas Lima, Roy McDonald, Alir Latifi, Mark Hunt, Jake O'Brien, Hinatu Sobral, Babalu Sobral, fucking Sokaju, fucking Ronaldo Souza, Melvin Manhoof, Dennis Kang, fucking Cyborg Santos. All right, bro. So like he's not going to be fucking the dream catcher, dude. Like I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that might be, if that is an upset, that would be a ridiculous one. That might be the bigger upset that's possible in the next few cards.
Yeah. Oh, dude, they're like virtually the same too. Like height,
same
weight,
age.
Yeah, age.
What's it doesn't give reach on here, does it? Wonder if there's an advantage anyway. Salter looks like a little bit of a lanky boy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so that's this week coming up, Bellator. And then I don't remember what the
I don't think there's anything going on.
266.
Yeah, that was the last. Or yeah, I think that's what's coming up. Yeah. It's oh man, fucking Bellator. Yeah, 266. Yeah, the Ortega. Shit, there's a lot of fucking fight nights up until then. But yeah, some good fights. But I feel like that's that's about it for this one. It was a good one, dude.
It's been lovely, man. I mean, I'm very excited for the heavyweight division.
Hey, dude, as am I, dude. I really am, dude. So, hey, dude, catch you in the next one.
Cheers. Thanks for having me as always.
Yeah. All right. Catch you later.